What's up, YouTubes? Today I want to do a video on how to make homemade salt clay. I needed some for a future project and video that I want to do. So I figured why not make a video on how to make homemade salt clay. So let's get started. It's cheap to make. It air dries. You can easily make it from a few simple ingredients that you find in your kitchen. One batch makes up 2 good-sized sandwich bags full of clay that will last quite a while. Refrigerated, it doesn't go bad for quite a while. In some ways, it's easier to work with, and in other ways, it's a little harder to work with than your normal everyday sculpting clay. Today, I'm going to make some with no color, but you can easily use like food coloring and probably some other ways to color it in different colors. In my experience, it's quite viable for existing projects, and it holds up quite well as long as it's not outside or sitting in water. But even Sculpey and other clays would have drawbacks in that situation. Yeah, that's the 1 full cup, and I fill them right flat to the top. I didn't put a spoon down for the list of the things you would need, but most everybody's got a spoon, huh? Two full to the top cups of flour. I've got quite a few kits of those measuring cups, and I don't have a 3/4 cup, so I had to use the 1/4 and a 1/2 cup. I don't even know if they sell it with a 3/4 cup. I didn't notice until I started watching the video that I didn't fill up the 1/4 cup with water as high as I did for the salt and flour on the other cups. Once I started mixing it up, I knew it was pretty dry, but I tried to work with it and work it in and maybe leave some left in the pan. But even when I pulled the clay out, it was just too dry. I ended up having to add water to it. And I added the water off camera. It was just a little touch, a little dribble of water. So it wasn't much to bring it around. And that was just because I didn't fill my cups all the way up with the water for the mixture. My big old hands don't really fit in that bowl. I probably should have got a bigger bowl. It's pliable. It doesn't really make a teardrop shape when you pull it apart, but it's workable. And I use this in thinner layers on my projects because if you use it and do a thick coat on it, it's going to take forever to dry. And if you're trying to build something completely out of the clay, it's going to take a while to dry. The less time I got to wait, the more time I can put into making projects and detailing them. And you can use moving air to dry it faster. It does seem to dry faster that way. You wrap the paper towel around it, it creates a little bit more moisture in it, which if you're layering, you want a little bit of moisture. A lot of times I'll have just a little cup of water next to me just to dip my fingers in to thin the edges out and utilize a lot of water to do it. It does have a little bit of texture to it. When it dries at times, you can work it out, but for the projects I do, I like a lot of texture. And so I usually separate it into 2 separate bags. That way when I get it out, it's not all sitting out and possibly drying. It doesn't dry real fast, so you don't really have to worry about that. But having it in separate bags, it's just, you know, you don't have all the clay out. Keeping the moisture in the clay, it makes it easier to work. So the dryness meaning losing the moisture in the clay and making it harder to work with. Recipe for the clay, for those who have never made it. Until next time, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.